Hey, everybody. Got about 3 more minutes till we get started. I already see Brooklyn and Eli and Ella and Elena. So good to kind of see you guys here. While everybody's still filtering in, I want to just remind you guys to check out your Google Doc that is the group chat. I put some new pictures up that are from your donuts that you guys had for World War I. Some of you took that Lions Challenge. And also some of last week's Lion Challenge about World War I. So go check out the group chat when we're done here. A note about the typing. I have had some feedback about the emails that I sent out to you individually, and some of your parents have let me know that you did do 20 minutes, but they didn't log that on the typing.com site. So what I'm seeing when I get feedback from typing.com isn't matching what you're doing. And here's why. I did a little research this morning, and it turns out that that typing.com only times you for when your fingers are actually typing. So if you're watching a video, it doesn't keep that time. So what I want you to do for typing is set a timer that beeps, when it goes off. So your parents hear, okay, they've done their 20 minutes, and set it for 20 minutes whenever you have to do typing. And I won't go by the typing.com readout. I'll go by what your parents tell me. Okay. All right. So disregard that if you did 20 minutes and I wrote you back and said, you've only done 5 minutes. If you did 20 minutes, you're good. Just let your parents be in charge of that. So from now on, set your timer. Parents, if you're there, I'm going to be sending out a survey in the next day or two to get your feedback on how this week and a half have gone, what things we need to change and tweak over spring break. That's what I'm going to be spending my spring break doing, is getting this all straightened out perfectly. Won't be perfect, but better, so that when we come back from spring break and we're doing this until at least April 20th, that we have this in a better place for you guys. So be watching for that survey. Writers, those of you that are doing the writing competition, listen up. I know that our deadline was today. However, because the libraries have been closed, they extended the deadline till April 18th. So I'm not going to be giving you feedback on that just yet, because I'm in the middle of doing all of this and also getting our grades in for third quarter. So I'll be doing that over the break. I'll be giving you feedback. I'm just going to set that piece aside since that's been extended for us. So take a little breather. You've got a little more time on that if we need it. All right, we're ready to do our questions. I'm going to back up here. Welcome everybody that's here. First question right off the bat is from Math Today, Math 111. And again, if you have not done your math for today, or you have not corrected your math test, you need to put that aside and go get that done, and then come back when you're done with that. This will be saved on my YouTube channel. So number 1 on lesson 111, it says, what is the total number of hours shown in the graph? And if you have watched my video, I told you to find the total number, you have to add up all the numbers in the circle. So for number 1, you're going to have to add up how many hours they were in school, they were eating, other, homework, TV, playing, and sleeping. All those numbers together will be your total number of hours. So you get to do that math. All right, that was number 1. Esther has a question on math. Now, Esther, is this on lesson 111 or is this on your math test corrections? I'll come back to you on that. I'll go, I'm just going to do math first, and I'll come back to the English as well. Math test, thank you, Elena. Test 21, number 15. So if you've got your tests out, this is the one that says home study test 21. That's our main test, and it was 60 times 800. So this is 15. They had it written like this, but I've taught you guys a better way to do that, since the number is larger, is to put the larger number on top when you're multiplying. Okay, and then we learned that we can cover up all the zeros and just add the front 2. 8 times 6 is, shout it out, I can hear you. It's 48. Just kidding, I can't hear you. And then I count my zeros, 1, 2, 3, and I have to write that many zeros. My answer is 48,000. Hope that helps you out there, Elena. Number 2, Caden. Caden, I need you to specify, is it English, is it math, and what lesson? Same with you, Jaden. I see number 23, but can you tell me lesson 111, or do you want to do the test number 23? Oh, that's got to be, Jaden's got to be on 111, because we don't have 23 on our test. So on lesson 111, you can bounce over there with me on number 23. It says 3 into 263. So I can't go into 2, so I can go into 26. 3 goes into 26 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24, and subtract. 2 is less than 3, then I can bring down. Are you checking it and see if you got it right? Now 3 goes into 23 how many times? 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract, and my remainder is 2, because 2 is less than 3. Hope that helps you out, Caden. Or Jaden, sorry, Jaden. Okay, hey Nikki. She wants to know how I want them to do number 4 on the test. Okay, the practice test. Okay, so I'm going to go to the practice test, and whether or not you've got the practice test or the actual test in front of you, the way we do number 4 is the same. So let's take a look at that. Thank you, Nikki, for the question. It says 33 desks. This is on the practice test, so if you've got the major test, that's okay. Just go with me on the way it's done. 33 desks were arranged in 6 rows as equally as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 6 rows, just so I'm thinking that way. You could think of this as like rows in a classroom. So there was 33 desks. And I'm going to have to divide because they're arranged in 6 rows equally. Equal is like equal groups, and in equal groups we always have to divide. So 6 goes into 33 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract, and I have 3 left over. So whatever your answer is here, that's how many are going to be initially in each row. So I'm going to go ahead and put 5. There's 5 desks in each of these 6 rows. Now I've got 3 left over. And just like when you're dealing cards, you get through everybody, you just keep dealing in a row until you get rid of all your cards. So there's going to be 1 put here, and 1 put here, and 1 put here, and that's all of my 3 that I had left over. So now if I look at my questions, A says, how many rows had exactly 5 desks? 1, 2, 3 had exactly 5 desks. And then B asks, how many rows had 6 desks? 1, 2, 3 had 6 desks. So that's how we figure those out. And this is really hard to answer unless you draw it, because if you're just given this answer, it's hard to visualize how these 3 ended up in those particular rows. So I'm always asking the kids to draw it out. I have to draw it out, or I can't envision in my head. Some people can, but it's good at this stage of the game to be drawing these. Okay, thanks for that question. Going on down here. Let's see, Caden says number 2 on math. Again, Caden, are you talking about math test or lesson 111? Audrey says number 3. Audrey, sweetie, can you be more specific? Do you need number 3 on math test, lesson 111, or English? Ella says math, lesson 111, number 12. Okay, so I'm gonna do that one over here. This is lesson 111, number 12. 12 says, 4 pounds of pears cost $1.20. What did 1 pound of pears cost? And then what did 6 pounds of pears cost? This is a tricky one because there's several steps in it. The first step is we have to find out what 1 pound of pears cost if we know what 6 pounds would cost. And this is an EG group. And you can guess that because they said, what did 1 pound of pear cost, which is the same thing as saying, what does each pound of pear cost? So I'm going to write my group up here. It doesn't say you have to use this, so if you got the answer without using the EG, that's okay. But let's go ahead and use this so we can clearly see it. So our tags are the cost for each pound, fill in all my tags, and now I can match my numbers to the tags. 4 pounds of pears, 4 pounds. So that's going to go here. And then the other thing they told us was the cost was $1.20. So my cost is $1.20. Okay, so this is my unknown right there. And that means I have to do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and erase. Let me find my eraser. I'm going to erase this side so we have more room. And I'm going to divide $1.20 by 4 to get my cost per pound. I'm going to ignore the dollar sign and decimal point. 4 can't go into 1, but 4 can go into 12. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract and that leaves 0. 0 is less than 4. Doing well. Bring down my 0. 4 goes into 0, 0 times. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract, I have nothing left over. Then I just put my decimal right above where it was and my dollar sign right above where it is. And I now know that the cost for 1 pound is 30 cents. So that's the answer to the first question that asked, what did 1 pound of pears cost? It cost 30 cents. You can write it like that, or you can write 30 with the cent sign next to it. Then they asked, what did 6 pounds of pear cost? So if 1 pound of pears cost 30 cents, I need 6 of those. So I could times it times 6, or I could do 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30, but that's a long time. So I'm going to multiply it. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3 is 18. Dollar sign and goes here, and my decimal point is 1, 2 places over. 1, 2 places over. It's $1.80 for 6 pounds. That was number 12. I'm going to move on to number 18. That was number 12. I'll put 18 over here. 18 says 71 times 69. Now again, if you've gotten this, check it over and see if you got it right as we're going. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 7 is 63. I heard it. I'm sure I heard you say it. And then I bubble. Now 6 takes a turn. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. And then we're going to add. 9 plus 0 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. 6 plus 2 is 8. And bring down my 4. Should be 4,899. That was number 18. Number 19 is very similar. I'll put it down here. Make sure you can still see. 19 is 37 times 60. And notice they hung it off the edge. So you have to bring down that 0 on your own. And then we multiply like normal. 6 times 7 is 42. Put my 2 down and carry my 4. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 4 is 22. So my answer should be 2020. Hope that helps you out there, Ella. Going on down. Lexi, I see you want number 8, sweetie, but I need you to be more specific. Do you need number 8 on lesson 111 of math, on your test, or on English? Okay. Oops. Elena needs number 13 on 111. Okay, I'm going to erase this side. Down to here. Number 13 says, Mike drove his car 150 miles in 3 hours. Okay, right there, you can guess what's going to be happening. What was his average speed in miles per hour? Per is another word for 1. Miles in 1 hour. It's also another word for each. Miles in each hour. So you guessed it. It's an EG pattern. It did not tell you you have to use it. So if you found the answer without it, that's fine. But we know if we use it, we're more likely to get it right. So it's miles each hour. Put all my tags in. And now I just match the numbers with the tag. Mike drove his car 150 miles. That's going to go here, 150 miles. Then it tells me he did it in 3 hours. There's my hours tag, so the 3 has to go here. And they want to know what was his average speed in miles per hour. So this is my unknown. So what do we have to do? What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. I'm going to divide 150 by 3. 3 can't go into 1, but 3 can go into 15. How many times? 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15, and subtract. 0 is less than 3. I'm doing it right. Bringing down my 0. 3 goes into 0. 0 times 3 is 0. No remainder. So my answer is 50 miles each hour, or you could even make it shorter by saying 50 mph, period. And that stands for miles per hour. You do need to have a tag. Don't just stick down 50. All right, moving on down. Okay, she told me lesson 111, number 8. This is Lexi's. Number 111, number 8. Okay, this is asking you to do 2 things. So if you only did one thing, that might be where you went wrong. Number 8 says, estimate the product of 88 and 22. And then find the actual product. So to estimate means, I heard it. I think Jaden said it. What did you say, Jaden? Round, yep. So 88 rounds to 90, and 22 will round to 20. So I'm going to do that first. Zeros I can cover up. What's 9 times 2? 18. And how many zeros? 1, 2. So that's 1,800 or 1,800. Now I have to do the actual. And sometimes we only do the estimate. We forget to do the actual, and that's where we go wrong. Make sure you do both. 8 times 2 is 16. I carry my 1. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1, 17. Don't forget to bubble. Now 2 takes a turn. 2 times 8 is 16. Get this. Put my 6 down, carry my 1, but I'm ignoring this one, or you can even erase it because that was from this 2's turn. And we're on this 2's turn. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. And then I add 6 plus 0 is 0, or 6. 7 plus 6 is 13, put 3 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 7 is 9, and my 1. So you should have 2 answers that aren't that far apart because we estimated first, and then we got our real answer here. So you should have 2 answers for number 8. Okay, I see math lesson 111, number 16. Lindsay's asking for. Thank you, Linz. I'm going to go over here for 16. Let's line these up carefully. One of the biggest places we go wrong with these long addition ones is just copying correctly. So make sure you go back first and see if you lined up your decimals and you wrote the correct numbers. 12.24, 38 cents, 6 cents, $5, and $1.20. And I'm going to have to push this down a little bit so you can see. There. Okay. 3 plus 9 is, class? 12. 12 plus 4 is? 16. 16 plus 8? 24. 24 plus 6? 30. 30 plus nothing would be 30. Put my 0 down, carry my 3. 3 plus 6 is? 9. 9 plus 4 is? 13. 13 plus 2 is? 15. 15 plus 3 is? 18. 18 plus 2 is? 20. Put my 0 down, carry my 2. 2 plus 1 is? 3. 3 plus 2 is? 5. 5 plus 5 is? 10. 10 plus 1 is? 11. Put my 1 down, carry 1. 1 plus 1 is? 2. Not done. I have to put my decimal point right below, keep it in that line, and my dollar sign. Should equal $21. So those of you that got that one wrong, make sure that you go back and see, what did you do wrong? Was it just a copying error? Then we just need to make a note to copy more carefully. Was it an addition error? Did you maybe forget to carry? Figure out what it is so that you can pinpoint that later. All right, we're going on to number 18 in lesson 111. Number 18 says, did I do this one already? I did 18 already. Okay. Number 19, I did that one already as well. That's the one that's hanging off. Okay. So going on down 16, I did 20. Let's do 20. 56 times 42. Now again, the hardest things about these are that when we put things up here, we often forget that that's already been used. So if that's your problem, you need to erase that in between these guys' turns. I'm going to erase it today just so you get used to doing that if that's your issue. 2 times 6 is 12. I put the 2 down and carry my 1. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. And I bubble. Now this is where if you have trouble with these kind, you might want to go up, I'm going to do it, and erase what I carried so I don't get confused because I don't want to use that again. Now 4 has a turn. 4 times 6 is 24. Put my 4 down and carry the 2. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. And then add 2 plus 0 is 2, 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 2 is 3, and bring down my 2. 2,352 is number 20. Okay. Let's see. Elaine, I'll have to go back. I'll make a note to check that one. I'll go back and check and see it, okay? Thanks for that. Number 4 on the test, I've done that one already, Eli, so you can go back and check that. Number 6 on the practice test, let's see. Okay, number 6, depending on which test you're on, you'll need to look at the picture on your test. So on number 6, they had 100 little squares, and they asked what decimal number names the shaded part of the square. So first I'm going to name it as a fraction. We know there's 100 total. And then they want to know the shaded part. And if I'm counting on the practice test, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there are 7 shaded ones. So I'm going to change that to a decimal now. Here's my decimal. We know there's 2 decimal places because there's 2 zeros in the denominator. And my 7 goes here. And what's going to go there? Placeholder 0. So that's how we write 7/100 as a decimal. Then part B says, what decimal number names the part that's not shaded? Well, I know there's 100 total. So if I take away what is shaded, what's left is what's not shaded. So I'm going to borrow, subtract, that leaves 93. So that means 93 of the 100 boxes are not shaded. And then I'm going to change that to a decimal. I know, again, it has 2 decimal places because there's 2 zeros in the denominator. And then I can write 9/3 like that. So it's read the same way. This is 7/100, and this is 93/100. Okay. Number 2 on lesson 111. Going back to lesson 111, number 2. It says, what fraction of Dan's day was spent watching TV? I wonder what fraction of your day is spent watching TV. Maybe you'll find out. Number 2, we have to have a fraction because they're saying what fraction is it? What number goes on the bottom of our fraction? The total. Total is always on the bottom. So how many total hours are there on that chart? That's the answer to number 1. So I'm not going to write that here because that's a whole other question you can find out, and we already talked about how to find that out. But this is the answer to number 1. That goes here as your denominator, number 1's answer. And then it says what fraction of the day was spent watching TV. Well, how many hours did he spend watching TV? Look at your chart. He spent 1 hour. So 1 of how many total hours there are would be how much he spent watching TV. So you just need a fraction there. There's no tag. Let's see. I see. I skipped here. Let's see. All right, stop with the emojis. Just the questions, please. Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, if you have a question, you need to write it all in one spot, like lesson 111, number 3. Okay, if you just write lesson 111, I don't know what number. So if I haven't answered your question, please put it just like that, or English number 2 or something like that. Okay, make it really clear for me because I can't scroll back and forth on all of these. It will take too long. Jaden, you're asking about what is the answer on 19. Buddy, I need you to tell me what lesson or what it is you need there. Number 2, we just covered. Noah's asking, do I have to watch this video? Are you talking about the live stream? If you have done your corrections, you need to come and make sure that you have them right, okay? If you didn't have anything to correct, then no, you did not. Unless you just want to see your friends. Okay, Jaden is saying he can't see the answer to number 19. Okay, so this was 37 times 60. I wonder if it was because my computer wasn't where it needed to be. The answer to that one was 2,220. That's number 19. Sorry about that, bud. Thank you for letting me know that. Pulling on down here. Number 2. Okay, we're going to get to English in just a short time. Number 3 on lesson 111, Audrey would like to know, if Dan starts school at 8:30 a.m., at what time does it end? Okay, so we know he went to school here, started at 8:30. Now look how many hours he was in school. Look at your chart. How many hours does it say he was in school? 6 hours. So this is my hours and this is my minutes. I'm going to add 6 hours to see what time it would be when school gets out. So zeros, 3 plus 0 is 3, 8 plus 6 is 14, 14:30 o'clock. Does that sound right? No. So remember, anytime we go over 12, we have to subtract 12 to get the correct answer. Oops, not 12:30, just 12. 0 minus 0 is 0, 3 minus 0 is 3, 4 minus 2 is 2, 1 minus 1 is 0. So it'll be 2:30 a.m. or p.m. Well, we went past 12, so it's going to flip to the opposite, which would be p.m. So at 2:30 p.m., Dan's school day will be done. That was number 3. Ella wants to know 19. I've got that on the board. Number 4 on the test. Okay, I did that one already. Go back and check that earlier in the video. Guys, don't need to correct each other. Chelsea, I'm sorry, it's fuzzy, sweetie. I think our internet is strained right now. Everybody's. Okay, 13 and 4 on Math 111. Number 4 says 5 6 of the 288 marchers were out of step. How many marchers were out of step? Illustrate the problem. Illustrate means you have to draw it. So let's go over here. This again is number 4. 5 6 of the 288 marchers. They gave you a fraction. They gave you a whole number. 5 6 of the 288 marchers. So first step, we divide. You should be using your journals for this. If you get lost, divide by your denominator. My denominator is the 6, so I'm going to first divide my picture up into 6 parts. And then I'm going to do some actual division. 288 divided by 6. 6 can't go into 2, but 6 can go into 28 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24, and I subtract, leaves 4. 4 is less than 6. Now I'm going to bring down. 6 goes into 48 how many times? 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. subtract, nothing left over. So my answer is 48. I could put 48 in all of these, but I'm not done. That was just step one. Step one told me what 1/6 was, but they want to know what 5/6 was. 5 of these. So I could add 48 plus 48 plus 48 plus 48 plus 48, or I could just do the multiplication, multiply by the numerator. So 48 is what I got times my numerator, which is 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry my 4. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. So 240, and what's my tag? Marchers. Hope that helps you out there. I'm going to do one more math, and then we're going to switch to English. 13. Okay, I've already done 13. You can go back in the video and look at that. 19 I've already done, Jaden. You can look back at the video. Okay, we're going to switch to English. So everybody go ahead and grab page 68 that you did today in English. And I'm going to go back here and find some questions. Esther wants to know about 6, 7, and 9. So let's look at the middle part. It says read each pair of sentences. Fill in the circle next to each correct sentence. So 6 has our tomato plants have grew or have grown. All right, first thing I want to know, does this have a helping verb? Yes, it does. So if you look at your chart on that same page, that last column says verbs with has, have, or had. Now go down and find grow. What is the past tense with a helping verb for grow? Have grown. So this one would be correct on number 6. Number 7, is that one of them? Number 7, yeah. Vanessa has written. And the other one has a different one. It says has wrote. All right, first of all, does this have a helping verb? Yes, it does. Has. So now I'm going to go to my chart, find that last column. Those are the words that have to have a helping verb. Find write. The very bottom one. Yesterday I wrote. In the past I have or has written. She has or have written. So has to be has written on number 7. Oops, we're not doing 8, we're doing 9. Right? Yep, 9. Chase has gave or Chase has given. Has gave or has given. What am I going to ask you first? Does it have a helping verb? Yes, it does, right there. And look at your last column. That's where the helping verb ones are. Find give. What's in that column? Has given. All right, so that's 7, 8, or 6, 7, and 9. Yeah, Wyatt's not able to get on the internet where he's living, so he's getting help in a different way, which is a bummer. And I'm not sure where Broad's at. Let's see, gonna go back and see what other English questions you have. Caden. Oh. English, 7, 9, and 14. Okay, let's try 14. The chimpanzees have ate or have eaten. This is 14. They have ate or have eaten. First question I'm going to ask is, any helping verbs? Yes. So I have to look in the last column where the helping verbs are. The chimpanzees have eaten. Have eaten. So please do use your chart. That's what it's there for, and we need lots of practice with that. Still looking at English. Any other questions on English? Going back through 6, 7, and 9. Okay. If I have not answered your question, go ahead and pop it in there right now. Good job. I love seeing you guys answer my questions. This is great. 6, 7, and 9. Okay. You're welcome, Esther. If that's all your questions, you are welcome to go ahead and sign off, and I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to check out our group chat. There's new pictures and fun stuff on there, so go check that out. Bye-bye, Noah. Thanks for sticking around. You're welcome, Jaden. I miss you, man. Okay, I've got one more question from Math. Bye, Lena. See you later. You're welcome, Kaden. All right, and we're going to go back to lesson 111, number 13, real fast. Not too fast, but real fast. You're so welcome, Noah. Welcome, Ella. 111, number 13. Okay, I did that one already, Esther. So when we get done, this will save to my YouTube channel, and you can go back and watch that again, okay? Bye. Bye. What's group chat? On the connections email I sent you that has all of the ways that you can get onto all of the channels that I've asked you to for your typing.com and YouTube channel and your Google Docs. There's a Google Docs on there that says group chat. And that's where you can go and talk to each other using only the things that I've asked you to say or to comment on. But I put pictures up there that you guys have sent me as well. So check those out and comment on each other's things. That's going to be changing regularly. You're welcome, Audrey. See you in a while, Caden. Okay, bye, Esther. I'm going to sign off now. You guys have a great day. Maybe you can go play in the snow. What? What is the snow? Anyway, see you guys later. Mwah.